All right, good evening. I hope that you are having a good night and you're able to be working on your homework and this doesn't take up too much of your time. So, what we're going to be talking about is reasoning and proofs. We're going to continue on our discussion with conditional statements. So, now we're going to be able to take those conditional statements and we're going to be able to write converses, inverses, and contrapositives giving that conditional statement. So, let's do a quick review. A conditional statement is always in the form if and then. So I'm taking the conditional statement. If a number is divisible by 3, then it is odd. Remember that the hypothesis always follows the if part. So in this statement, our hypothesis is a number is divisible by 3. And the conclusion always follows the then part. So our conclusion is it is odd. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this conditional statement throughout this PowerPoint, this presentation. So if a number is divisible by 3, then it is odd. Make sure you're writing this stuff down because I'm going to be checking tomorrow. So a converse. A converse just simply exchanges the hypothesis and the conclusion. So if I take the conditional statement, if a number is divisible by 3, then it is odd. All I'm doing is switching the part that follows the if and the part that follows the then. So our converse of this statement would be if a number is odd, then it is divisible by 3. So just exchange it. Not much to it, just switch it. The inverse becomes a little bit different. This is where you're going to negate both the hypothesis and the conclusion. If you don't know what negate means, it's just simply making it the opposite. So if a number is divisible by 3, then it is odd. If I negate that, if a number is not divisible by 3, then it is not odd. So see how I put the words not into it? That's what you do when you have an inverse. If the word not was in it to begin with, you would just simply remove it. So you're just doing the opposite of it. And then finally, the contrapositive. It negates both the hypothesis and the conclusion of the converse. So the converse, if you remember, is where we switch the hypothesis and the conclusion. So if a number is odd, then it is divisible by 3. So now if I negate that, our contrapositive would be if a number is not odd, then it's not divisible by 3. Another way that you could think that a contrapositive is that it's simply just the inverse of the converse. Okay? So now your turn. I want you to write the converse, the inverse, and the contrapositive given the following conditional statement. If a figure is a rectangle, then it is a parallelogram. Make sure you're taking good notes, and I will check them tomorrow, and you enjoy the rest of your evening.